Rising, beautiful family. Retta's Recovery Reminders. It's Retta right here. And Ratchet is right here with me, of course. It is a little bit overcast, but we're still going to get outside today because it makes me feel so much better. July 8th. I will gain more understanding when I realize I must feed my spirit if I want to stay alive. Picture yourself sitting at a banquet table covered with all of your favorite foods. Imagine the sight, the smell. Anticipate the pleasure of sinking your teeth into all your favorite foods, which have been prepared to perfection. Now imagine that as you finish one delight, a well-mannered server brings you the next. You push back from the table, totally satisfied and grateful. Are you aware that your spirit needs to be fed? Did you know that your spirit would be delighted to partake in a feast of spiritual food? How about a plate full of prayer, or maybe a few hours of succulent self-reflection? Perhaps a piping hot selection of spiritual literature, served by a side of a lake or under a tree. Would you satisfy your spiritual hunger? Can you imagine feasting for hours, for a few hours, on spiritually uplifting music? What about some forgiveness a la mode topped with compassion? You cannot imagine how much your spirit would enjoy it. Would you believe that there are many eager angels, guardians, and guides just waiting to serve you? They have already set the table and begun to prepare everything you need to satisfy your spirit. Need some help? Look under appetizers. Want some understanding? Check the daily specials. If warm wisdom or scrumptious security would fill you up, try the chef's special. It's all there on life's spiritual menu. All you have to do is simply raise your head, your heart, or your hand and ask. Like the body, the spirit must be fed. Your spirit not only requires a well-balanced diet, but it must be fed on a regular schedule. Until today, you may have believed that your spirit could survive on bits of information. Just for today, be devoted to preparing a spiritual banquet for yourself. Take a moment to identify all the things that would fulfill your spirit, and then ask the angels to serve it up. Today, I am devoted to having a spiritual feast. And before my awakening, I didn't really think of like going out into nature and thinking, reflecting on, my life and the things I've learned, and really just growing as a person was spiritual. But that is exactly what it is. When we get in touch with ourselves and learn who we are and are okay and completely unconditionally accept ourselves, that is feeding our spirit. When we love ourselves unconditionally and forgive ourselves for not knowing any better before, it's okay. That's spirituality. We're learning to be a bigger and better person. We're stepping into living our life as our highest self. And that takes discipline and consistency and integrity. And when you do it over and over and over, like day after day after day, you start trusting yourself, and it grows and grows. And all those negative things in the past get further and further away from you, and you become the person that you had in your mind's eye to begin with. And it's really amazing, actually. Going on the spiritual journey and the self-fulfillment journey is the most rewarding thing I've done in my life. And to begin with, I did it because I wanted my children in my life. Really, that's why. I was tired of not being with my kids. And it's kind of sucked because for the past 5 years, I mean, my oldest son was in my life, and since my split from my ex, he hasn't. And I don't even know why. I don't know why. And I will wait for him to communicate that with me when he's ready. I'm not going to read into it or, I don't read into anybody's behavior anymore because I don't know. Unless they tell me, I'm not going to assume. Okay. Because that does nothing but make me crazy. And I'm not doing that anymore. I don't make up stories in my head to try to make sense out of other people's behavior. I just don't. I try to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, where my, motivations are coming from. And that's all I care about. As long as my motivations are pure and I'm trying to live my best life, and I I want to help people. That's what I've always wanted to do, was help people. And now I believe helping people to remember their divinity within themselves. There is nothing outside of yourself. There's no God in the sky. It's within you, in your heart center. And when you realize that everything that we see externally is also internal as well, you are everything you see. And when I got that in my consciousness, it was like, oh my God. And I'm letting people treat me like this. I am everything I see in the universe, all those like beautiful galaxies and cosmos, like, as above, so below. As out, as in. It's like, it's all like in us. I don't know how to explain it, but I believe that. And I saw this video. I don't know if I told you guys about this, but Dr. B Serious, you can find him on YouTube. Really great, great guy. Said that he was looking at a quantum microscope. His friend had and he kept zooming in, and he said he had zoomed in so far that he started seeing constellations in the cell. Constellations in the cell. Like, we're fractals. This is all illusion, what we see with our eyes. And when we learn to grow the internal world, expand internally, that's when the external world expands as well. And just best journey ever. Everything that I experienced in my life was leading me back to myself, finding the divinity within. And if you really read all the texts, religious texts, the stuff that was taken out of the religious book, it gives you, it's a coherence between your heart and your mind. We need to go back to living in our heart centers. The fall of man was the fall from the heart-centered consciousness to the mind-centered consciousness, or emotional to logic, whatever. It was a downgrade. And like, this society makes you think that, other people are your enemy. And it's not. The people in power that are making up laws and rules to do nothing but destroy our sovereignty and like autonomy, basically, taking our rights away, that we're going backwards. Like, that makes no sense. It's okay for you not to want to do something, but for you to not allow someone else to do it when we know that this is like stuff that affects people's lives. Why? I don't understand that. Like, live your best life and allow people to live theirs. People have to go through everything they have to go through to get to where they are. And when we just realize that and focus on our own journey instead of worrying about where the Smiths are or the Browns or whoever, get over it. Focus on where you're going, and then everything falls into place, I promise. I love you guys. I hope everybody has a really great day. I know I will. Let me get in here. I got to go apply for unemployment today because this is my second week in vacay. Hopefully it'll be the last. I think I'll be going back to work next week. I got a call on Thursday to find out. So more will be revealed. I love you guys. Be a blessing. Peace.